Ron Rivera is going to meet with the media today for his camp opening press conference. I thought it was unusual, and it is unusual. The team is restricting access only to those who cover the team on a daily basis. No national sports media, no news media. Gives Ron Rivera a way to avoid a lot of questions that he probably would not like to talk about. On Monday, he spoke to Ben Standig, who covers the Washington football team for The Athletic, and Ron Rivera had kind of a unique request. He said, Ben, it's guys like you and other local reporters that could help us. Write all the bad articles now, get all the past out of the way, but as we start going forward, write about where we are and where we're going. Help push us forward. That's my message that I'm trying to tell everybody. I get it. There are some things that were totally effed up, but let's stop telling everybody that everything's effed up and start saying to everybody, hey, look what they're trying to do. Look how they're trying to fix it. Now, I love Ron Rivera as a coach. I have as much respect for him as I have for any coach in the NFL, and maybe more. But some of these guys just don't get how the media works. You don't get to ask or tell or expect how a team is going to be covered. And you could say, yeah, he's kind of joking around. Nah. When you combine those comments with the fact that they are keeping everyone out of today's press conference, it's a virtual press conference, but you have to be local media who cover the team on a daily basis to get in. They're trying to show that we're only going to give you access, and we expect something from you in return. We want you, the people who cover the team on a daily basis, to cover the team in a certain way. And you know what? If you don't, it's going to be a problem. I feel like that's the message that's coming from the franchise as they try to turn around this horrible coverage they've had, and they've deserved to have, Chris.
Yeah, well, they definitely deserve it. There's no doubt about it. I don't look at it, certainly from not the Ron Rivera standpoint, like he's trying to hey, you do, we'll do you a solid, you do us a solid. I don't look at it totally that way. Now, maybe
it's
listen,
implied.
I think,
it's implied.
But all I'm saying is I don't think it's Ron Rivera doing that. Now, maybe Dan Snyder and some other think tank guys above him in the organization, that's their reasoning. And maybe Ron Rivera is maybe a little reluctant because he's like, man, I don't want to get into, just politics and racism talk, all day here when I'm trying to go coach a football team. I think more, though, just from him alone, to me, it sounds like he's trying to change the mantra and the aura around the team and really change the conversation. I like you said, you're a fan of him. I know I am too. I mean, he's a very easy person to like. He's very respectful, calm, well thought out. You could tell he's a caring person when you're around him. I mean, when I was trying to get into coaching, he really, said some nice things to me and gave me his number and opened the door for a conversation and, hey, I'll see if I can do anything for you there. So that's where I've gotten to know him a little. And, I just think from from what he's dealing with right now, it's not easy, but he is the right guy to kind of get things straight on a humane level and to straighten out the football team. And again, he's in a very tough spot here. So I don't think he's trying to play politics here. I think he's just trying to kind of change the message and go, hey, this is a new era here in Washington. We're changing things. We're working on it. We know we were effed up. He's taking that head on, and he's letting you know that he's doing his best to kind of change what's going on there.
And I'm fine with that if he stops short of basically recruiting the local media during an on-the-record interview to help in the effort to cover the team in a way that pushes the negativity aside, because he doesn't want that negativity filtering its way into any conversations with players. He doesn't want it filtering into the locker room. He wants his players to focus on the future, and he wants the media who covers the team to be on board with that. And I'm always sensitive to that, Chris, because I think what's happened over the past 10 or 15 years in sports, I don't think it's what's happened. I know it's what's happened. As leagues hire people to cover a sport, as teams hire media members to cover the team, they develop an expectation that even the people who aren't getting a paycheck signed by Roger Goodell or signed by Daniel Snyder are going to behave that way too. And that's just wrong. There needs to be an independent press that asks the questions that need to be asked, that serves as the conduit to the fans, and that doesn't just shake pom-poms and root for all the good stories and overlook the negative stories.
Right.
That's why we need to be, and a lot of fans don't get that, but you need to be skeptical of that.
Yes.
And
they're
you
part of the
definitely need
team
to be,
almost.
Yeah, and if you're being paid by someone not Daniel Snyder to cover the team, it's not your obligation to do what Daniel Snyder or Ron Rivera want you to do. And the problem is they dangle access, right? They dangle interviews, right? Ben Standig now is going to be on board because he got an exclusive with Ron Rivera, and it's going to be hard for him to be critical of Ron Rivera, at least in the short term, because Ron Rivera just did him a favor.
Right.
Ron Rivera gave him the access, and that's how the game gets. I know how the game gets played that way all the time, everywhere.
Yeah.
But it had a different edge to it here because he articulated it. He verbalized it. And we're just going to have to see what happens.
Yeah, no, you're right. We're going to have to see what happens. And, hopefully the people that continue to follow the team can be still fair about the situation. Like, you're right. Hey, listen, a lot of local beat writers, they're worried about challenging the team or the coach or maybe some of the stars on the team because, yeah, they're worried that ultimately, it'll affect their access to, I was supposed to get a one-on-one sit-down with this guy or this coach, or I used to get inside information, and now I've written a few bad things about the team, and nobody gives me inside info anymore. Very real thing. There's no doubt about that.
Hey, Chris,
yeah.
From the moment I started calling for the name to change, how many Washington interviews do you think I've got in 7 years? How many do you think?
Oh, you mean
you don't need a hand. You don't need one hand to count.
It's that few, huh?
Yeah. We got Adrian Peterson one time through Adrian Peterson, right? We got Adrian Peterson one time through Adrian Peterson, not through the team. Other than that, no one from Washington.
Well, yeah, I know.
And that's how the game's played.
It is.
If you make them mad, they're not going to give you access.
There's no doubt about it. I know. You're right. Hey, listen, I'm experiencing it myself. Sometimes when you're honest and things like that, all of a sudden, oh, damn, I thought I was supposed to get that guy as a guest on my podcast. Oh, he doesn't want to come on because he heard what you said 3 weeks ago. Whatever it is. Okay, great. I don't know. Damn, be mad at me because I told the truth, all right? I just, you're right. And then, the other thing that always frustrates me with that crap is when I say something good about these people, I never hear like, hey, thanks for sticking up for me, or that was really nice of you. I never hear that crap. But either way, yes, it's a fine line, and it's certainly a little political in the NFL right now in all angles, and this certainly is the case here with the media and this Washington name change and everything else with it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.